Hey guys, what's going on? For this video, I'm going to talk about the November pay-per-views. Obviously, this looks like a great lineup of pay-per-views. We get the Dragon Gate pay-per-view, Untouchable, which is going to air Friday, November 6th. And then on November 15th, we get TNA Turning Point, which looks like the best TNA pay-per-view in a long time. And then we're going to get Survivor Series on November 22nd. So my question to you is, out of all these pay-per-views, which one do you think is worth spending the money on? If you had to pick just one. Uh, I'm going to try to get all of them, so there'll probably be reviews for at least two of them, maybe three. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Turning Point. I think Turning Point will be the most epic and the most interesting. However, I do think the best wrestling will be on the Dragon Gate pay-per-view, Untouchable. Yeah, so this Untouchable pay-per-view, it airs on Friday. I definitely think it's going to surpass Enter the Dragon. I thought Enter the Dragon was great. I think a lot of people were kind of blown away by it because we haven't seen anything like that on pay-per-view ever. So that's why everyone was kind of hailing it as the greatest pay-per-view of the year, which it still is, but I think they could definitely build off of it. But this Untouchable pay-per-view looks even better. They brought in David Richards, Bryan Danielson. They're bringing back the Chikara guys, and the Young Bucks are back. So yeah, this looks awesome. And we also get the return of Brian Kendrick on pay-per-view, Spanky. He got fired from the WWE, as we all know. This will kind of be his chance to show what he could really do in the ring. For people that haven't seen him in Ring of Honor, and for people that haven't seen him in PWG. He'll be taking on Cima, which should be an excellent match. Davey Richards is going to take on Shingo, which is considered from live reports to be on the same level as Kenta versus Davey Richards, which is saying a lot. And then Bryan Danielson in the dream match. This is pretty much a dream match for everyone that follows Dragon Gate to a degree. Bryan Danielson is going to be taking on Naruki Doi, which should be awesome. The Young Bucks are going to take on Genki Horiguchi and Ryo Sato. This should be just another classic Young Bucks match. It probably won't be as good as their other match on Dragon Gate, but it'll still be very, very good. Mike Quackenbush and Jigsaw are going to be taking on Gran Akuma and Yamato. They kind of built this up at the last show. So, and then the other match, which I'm really excited about, is actually a rematch from Enter the Dragon. But I think this is going to be even better because I think their last match was pretty much just done to set this up, which was Masato Yoshino and Dragon Kid, which should be an awesome match. All right, so that's Untouchable, Dragon Gate Untouchable, airing on Friday. Definitely go check it out. I mean, this is probably from top to bottom as far as great wrestling goes. This is probably going to be the pay-per-view of the year. The other pay-per-view is TNA Turning Point. Finally, we're going to get to see a rematch from what, in my opinion, is the greatest triple threat match of all time, one of the greatest professional wrestling matches ever. We get AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe in a rematch. This time it's not for the X Division titles, for the TNA World title, which is awesome. Christopher Daniels will finally get a chance to show that he's main event championship material. He's got a lot to prove. The thing about Daniels is, looks like he's going to turn heel, which is great because he's an awesome heel. Pretty much on the mic, I think he's just as good as CM Punk. You know, he hasn't been able to show it, but I definitely do think he's on that same level. Age is a big factor for Daniels because he was 33 on the last time they wrestled at Unbreakable. Now he's about to turn 38, so you know, age is going to play a big factor for him. But I still think he'll be able to pull off the same kind of stuff. He might not be as flashy and as crisp as he was back then, but and Samoa Joe, I don't think Joe is as good as he was back in 2005. You know, injury has hurt Joe, and he's not in as great a shape as he once was. But still, I think it's still guaranteed to be at least a 4-star match. And if TNA just lets them wrestle without any crappy booking decisions or any time restrictions, as long as they get at least 25 minutes out there, I just think it's going to be a classic match no matter what. And then the other match, which I'm really looking forward to, is Kurt Angle versus Nigel McGuinness. I'm really happy that Nigel's in TNA as Desmond Wolfe. I think the Desmond Wolfe name is great. Well, I don't think it's great. I think it's acceptable. I really don't. I would love for him to be Nigel McGuinness, but you know, everything's about making money now, so I'll accept the fact that he's Desmond Wolfe. I don't think the name is that bad. But Nigel and Kurt Angle is a dream match for me. I haven't talked about it that much, but I definitely think this would be a classic. Uh, I think Nigel will actually be elevated here, even if he loses. I think Angle will be willing to help Nigel out. I think Angle does see the potential that Nigel has, and he's hot right now. He's just coming off a great Ring of Honor World Title reign. So the problem with him in WWE is he would have had to wait way too long before he appeared on TV. Here with TNA, he just stepped right into the main event scene where he belongs. I think him and Angle put on a great feud, a great series of matches. Hopefully this match will definitely live up to expectations. Really excited about both of these matches. I cannot wait for this pay-per-view. But the fucked up thing about it is, no matter how good these matches are, and no matter how good the buy rate is, Hulk Hogan's gonna get all the credit, which definitely sucks. I really don't give a fuck about Hogan being in TNA. A lot of people think it'll benefit the company. I think it will, but long term, is it really the best thing for them to do? I don't know. I love the direction they're going in now with them getting rid of, with a lot of people from the Main Event Mafia leaving and the Main Event Mafia disbanding. I think that's great. But the crappy thing is now maybe they're going backwards again. I don't know. We'll have to. This is one of the things that we'll just have to wait and see. In British Invasion versus Motor City Machine Guns, looks like another great match. That's going to be on the pay-per-view as well. So definitely think Turning Point will be great, no matter what. All right, so the next pay-per-view is Survivor Series. Survivor Series does not look that appealing to me. I think it'll be a fun pay-per-view, but it won't be great. I think it might be just good. The main events look pretty decent. You get Cena versus Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. I think this would be a pretty good triple threat match, but I don't think it's going to blow anyone away. I think it's going to be kind of a generic triple threat. Shawn Michaels going for the title is always a positive, but the thing that ruins it for me is that Shawn has stated on several occasions that he has no interest in winning the title. So it definitely does ruin it to a degree. I know a lot of people feel the same way that I do about that. But I don't know. These guys, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, I don't really see them having the same level of hunger as guys on the TNA roster or in the TNA main event or anyone on the Dragon Gate roster. So probably this is going to be the weakest out of all the title matches. And but Shawn Michaels is still in there, and I still think it'll be at least good. Triple H is very stale right now. I think he's soft, and definitely think he needs to change the character. I cannot stand watching him wrestle. He's not as innovative as he was back in the day. His offense is pretty much generic, and I think we'll just see a lot of that for this match. I think this match has potential to be great, but considering where everyone is in their career right now, I just don't think it's going to be anything special. The other match with Big Show, Jericho, and Undertaker, I think it'll be decent, but it won't be great. Undertaker and Big Show, I do not like watching them wrestle, but having Jericho involved in the match is a positive. Jericho going for the title, I think Jericho has a great chance of winning this match because they've been using him a lot on the mic to build storylines and everything like that. So I would love to see another Jericho title reign. I definitely do think he deserves it. I don't think Taker needs the belt heading into WrestleMania. So and the other thing about the show is the Survivor Series matches look pretty good. In years past, they've been just throwing everyone together on the same team, like faces from Raw and SmackDown and heels from Raw and SmackDown, just throwing everyone together without any type of build-up. So the Survivor Series shows have pretty much come off very dull for the past couple of years. But with this show, we're going to get build-up on Raw for the Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton Survivor Series matchup, and then we'll have a good build-up in there'll probably be a Batista and CM Punk teaming up to take on the team of Rey Mysterio and his friends. So I think the build-up for that will be good. So the build-up for this show will be very good compared to other Survivor Series. Survivor Series has been really crappy over years past, and hopefully they could just get it back on track and put on a great Survivor Series. 2006 and 2008 were very mediocre for Survivor Series. So, I kind of hate to see the legacy just get flushed down the toilet. But overall, just let me know, out of all these pay-per-views, which one would you want to order? Or which one, out of all of them, if you could just pick one, which one is worth spending the money on? Personally, for me, I would take Turning Point. I think Dragon Gate will probably have the best wrestling on it, but Turning Point will definitely be the most monumental and the most epic out of all these pay-per-views. And I'd probably say if you want to stay away from one, I'd probably say Survivor Series. Probably wait for the DVD for Survivor Series. All right, guys, take it easy.